Loss is part of life. While nobody likes to talk about it, everybody experiences it. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Rue, and welcome to my channel. In this channel, I talk about all things mental health with the hope to provide information and education. Today, we're going to talk about what to expect following a loss. Whether you are experience a recent loss or are still struggling with a loss that occurred a while back, you would want to listen to this video, so stay tuned. Death and birth are a natural part of life, yet we tend to experience so much discomfort in the face of grief, and we're not sure what to do. Grief is an emotion, just like any other. An emotion that sometimes leaves us in a physical pain. Grief requires us to adjust to a new life without a loved one, and this negotiation, like any other, can be grueling. There is no right or wrong way to feel grief. Some common symptoms include crying spells, problems with sleeping, questioning your faith or the purpose of life, engaging in isolation, feeling detached, tired, frustrated, guilty, angry, or worried. Some people have problems with appetite. In some situations, people may engage in behaviors that are not typical and will even put their own life at risk. While this is not an uncommon type of behavior, this behavior requires a professional intervention and support, at least until the episode subsides. In 1969, a psychiatrist named Kubler-Ross described the 5 popular stages of grief that are often referred to as DABDA: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. It is important to add that these stages are not linear. So some people may experience bargaining, anger, just to go back and experience denial. We're not a cookbook, and no one grief looks the same as the other. So keep that in mind. The first step of healing starts with recognizing the grief. Grieving is unpleasant. It requires to sit with the pain and allows sadness to take its course. We tend to avoid this pain with comments like, "Don't be sad," or "You should be grateful," but these comments sends the message that grief is not okay when it is. A more helpful comment would be, "It's okay to be sad," because truly it is. There is a famous folktale about a rich, wealthy woman that lost her only child, and she was stricken with grief and became so desperate to the point where she asked if anyone could help her bring her child back to life. She found a healer who promised to do just that if she could find a white mustard seed from a family who no one has died. She desperately went from house to house, but to her disappointment, she could not find a house that has not suffered the death of a family member. This realization that there is no house free from mortality did not make the pain any less painful, but it was a uniting experience. Another thing to keep in mind is the need to stay in the present. This is hard, especially with people who are experiencing ambiguous grief. Ambiguous grief is a state of uncertainty about how long the grief will last. For example, a person whose spouse has dementia, the couple is still married, but the spouse is no longer really there, not in the same way that he or she used to be. In such situation, we can stay connected to the present by using the both and approach. We can feel lost in the present and also feel safe exactly where we are, whatever that might look like, at work, traveling, reading a book, having a meal. The goal is to avoid getting ahead of our grief and mourning something that is yet to happen. Finally, give others the space to experience loss in their own way. Grief is something we all experience, and at the same time, it's very personal. I talked about the stages of grief by Kubler-Ross, but keep in mind that it's not a linear process, and it is not a one-size-fits-all. Everyone experiences loss in their own unique way. Wherever you are in your stage, give yourself grace, kindness, and be patient.
Kubler-Ross says, "The reality is that you will grieve forever. You will not get over the loss of a loved one. You will learn to live with it. You will heal, and you will rebuild yourself around the loss you have suffered. You will be a whole again, but you will never be the same, nor should you be the same, nor should you want to be the same."
If you like what you hear today, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Let's take on the challenge of reaching, helping others, and reducing the stigma of mental health. Until next time, be well.